You might hate me for this, but that oil you've been cooking with daily, the one every nutritionist said was heart healthy, could be hardening your arteries. It sounds impossible, but I'm about to show you evidence that will make you rethink everything you thought you knew about cooking oils. Here's what keeps me up at night. Heart disease is the #1 killer of Americans over 65. The American Heart Association reports 1 in 4 deaths is caused by heart disease. The shocking part? Many are preventable, not by medication or surgery, but by simply choosing the right cooking oil. According to research in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition, shows oils used daily by people over 60 directly contribute to arterial inflammation and plaque. These are oils sitting in kitchens right now, oils people believe are protecting their hearts, but are doing the opposite. You are doing everything right. You exercise, you watch portions, you avoid fried food. But the oil in your healthy dinner? That's the trap. The food industry have spent decades convincing us certain vegetable oils are healthy when evidence says otherwise. As a health practitioner, I was shocked to review the peer-reviewed science and realize how many patients were unknowingly poisoning their cardiovascular systems. They'd come in with high triglycerides and blocked arteries, confused because they thought they were eating healthy. But here's the good news, and I want you to hold on to this tightly. The fix is immediate. Research shows when people over 60 switch to the right oils, arterial health improves dramatically. We see a 41% reduction in inflammation and a 35% drop in triglycerides in just 6 weeks. And the best part? These oils taste better, cook better, and cost less. Today, I'm exposing 5 dangerous, healthy oils silently clogging your arteries. You won't believe number 3. It's called a superfood, but is a worst offender. I'll show you why they're dangerous and the simple alternatives that actually protect your heart. Before we begin, what oil are you using right now? Comment below. We might save your life. Let's get started.
Point number 1. Canola oil, the processed trap. You see it everywhere. It's in bottles labeled heart healthy. Cooking shows use it. Restaurants cook with it. And your doctor has probably mentioned it. Canola oil. It's supposedly the gold standard of healthy cooking oils. The American Heart Association even gave it their stamp of approval. So it must be good for you, right? Not necessarily. And this is where the story gets troubling. Canola oil comes from rapeseed, but the way it's processed and extracted is where the real problem lies. Most commercial canola oil is extracted using high heat and a chemical solvent called hexane, essentially a chemical cleaner, to pull every drop out of the seed. While the solvent is mostly removed, this harsh processing strips away the natural antioxidants that protect the oil. The real problem with industrial canola oil is fragility and oxidation. Canola oil is high in polyunsaturated fats. In simple terms, these fat molecules have a chemical structure that makes them bendy and unstable. When this oil sits in clear plastic bottles under supermarket lights, or is used for high-heat cooking, it can begin to oxidize. Think of oxidation like rusting. Just as metal rusts when exposed to the elements, these oils degrade and turn rancid when exposed to heat and light. The problem is that the standard American diet is already flooded with oxidized, processed fats from vegetable oils hidden in processed foods. We're consuming these unstable fats in huge quantities. This creates a state of oxidative stress in the body, basically an internal chemical imbalance where damage is happening faster than your body can repair it. For someone over 60 with already stiffening arteries, adding more oxidized oil to the fire is a disaster. So what's the safer alternative? Return to the ancestral fats, grass-fed butter, ghee, or tallow. I know that sounds scary because you've been told saturated fat is bad, but here is the truth. These fats are heat stable. They are solid at room temperature because their chemical structure is strong. They don't rust and turn into inflammatory compounds when you cook an egg or sauté vegetables. As for grass-fed butter, here's what surprises people. Dairy fat from grass-fed cows contains butyric acid, a short-chain fatty acid that actually acts as fuel for the cells lining your gut, reducing inflammation. It also contains vitamin K2, a crucial nutrient that helps direct calcium into your bones and out of your arteries, critical for cardiovascular health after 60. That's what happens when you stop feeding your body processed ingredients and start actually nourishing it. But here's the thing. Canola oil is just the beginning. There's an oil that most people think is natural, but in its industrial form, it's a major driver of poor health. Point number 2, soybean oil, the ubiquitous filler. It's in salad dressings, it's in mayonnaise, it's in thousands of processed foods, and it's probably in your kitchen right now, hiding under a label that says vegetable oil. Soybean oil is the most consumed oil in America, and most people over 60 don't even realize they're eating massive amounts of it. The marketing around soybean oil is brilliant. It comes from plants. It's a vegetable product. But the science tells a nuanced story. The issue with soybean oil is how it dominates our diet. We're consuming it in an unprecedented ratio compared to other fats. A study from the University of California, published in PLOS One, found that mice fed a diet high in soybean oil developed significant metabolic issues. This means their bodies lost the ability to process energy efficiently, leading to obesity and liver changes. While we aren't mice, the sheer volume of this oil in the American diet is linked to our own metabolic health crisis. But wait, there's more. When soybean oil is heated in commercial fryers or processing plants, it creates inflammatory compounds. A 2020 study in Molecular Nutrition and Food Research highlighted how these oxidized dietary components can trigger the immune system to attack your own tissues. Essentially, processed soybean oil in junk food damages your health from the inside. This was Margaret's story. Margaret is 69 years old and came to me complaining about chest tightness. Her cardiologist found plaque buildup. We discovered she was eating processed foods loaded with soybean oil multiple times per day, store-bought dressings, mayo, and crackers. Her inflammation markers were through the roof. Her triglycerides, which are the main form of fat circulating in your blood, were at 387, dangerously high. I told her we need to eliminate the processed foods hiding these oils. We swapped Margaret's soybean-based dressings for avocado oil-based mayonnaise and dressings. She got the creamy texture she loved without the inflammation. Within 8 weeks of switching to real whole foods and eliminating soybean oil-based products, her inflammation markers dropped by 53%. Her triglycerides fell to 156. Her cardiologist rechecked her coronary arteries and found that the plaque had stabilized. He was amazed. Margaret was amazed, but I wasn't surprised. The safer alternative here is the high-heat hero avocado oil. The reason soybean oil is everywhere is because it has a neutral taste. You don't want your mayonnaise to taste like olives. This is where avocado oil shines. It has a completely neutral flavor, but unlike soybean oil, it is a monounsaturated fat, the same healthy, stable type of fat found in olive oil. Even better, avocado oil has a massive smoke point of 520 degrees. The smoke point is the temperature limit where an oil stops cooking and starts burning and releasing toxins. With avocado oil, you can sear steaks or roast vegetables at high heat without the oil breaking down. If you believe this information could save someone's health, please hit the like button. It helps get this message to the people who need it most. You'd think after 2 dangerous oils, we'd have covered the worst. But there's one category that is often marketed as premium, but can be deceptively fragile. Point number 3. Seed oils: sunflower, safflower, and grapeseed oil. These are the trendy oils, the health food store oils, the ones with beautiful labels. Sunflower oil, safflower oil, grapeseed oil. They sound like they came straight from a farmer's market garden, right? They can be problematic for your cardiovascular system if you don't use them correctly. And I need you to really understand why. All of these seed oils are very high in those unstable omega-6 polyunsaturated fats we talked about. Because they are so chemically unstable, they act like liquid rust if they're mistreated. They break down when exposed to high heat, light, or oxygen. A study in the journal Nutrients analyzed the oxidation products in cooking oils. High linoleic oils like sunflower and safflower produced higher levels of toxic compounds when heated for long periods compared to stable fats like olive oil. These oxidized compounds, specifically called lipid peroxides, can damage the endothelium. The endothelium is the very thin, delicate inner lining of your blood vessels. Think of your arterial endothelium like the skin of a perfectly healthy apple. It's smooth and protective. But consuming heated, oxidized oils is like taking sandpaper to that apple skin. It creates tears and damage. Your body tries to repair this damage, which contributes to inflammation and plaque buildup. The safer alternative here is the gold standard extra virgin olive oil. Now, I want to be clear, not all olive oil is created equal. You need extra virgin, cold-pressed. This isn't just a cooking fat, it's a superfood. EVOO is rich in polyphenols. Polyphenols are powerful plant-based antioxidants. Think of them like microscopic bodyguards that protect the oil from heat and actually protect your arterial walls from damage. A landmark study in the New England Journal of Medicine called PREDIMED showed that people eating a Mediterranean diet supplemented with extra virgin olive oil had a 30% reduction in heart attack and stroke risk. That's massive. And the key ingredient making the difference was the extra virgin olive oil. The takeaway is clear. Don't fear fat,
but fear damaged fat. Avoid the industrial, processed seed oils found in boxes and bags. Stick to the gold standard: extra virgin olive oil for your daily meals and stable fats for high heat. Please make sure to subscribe so we can keep arming you with the truth about your health and protecting your future together. You've learned about 3 tricky oils, but there's one more component to heart health that most people ignore. Point number 4, margarine and butter-like spreads, the trans fat disaster. If you're over 60, you grew up in an era when margarine was heavily promoted as a healthier alternative to butter. Better for your heart, they said. Your doctor probably even recommended it. So you switched from butter to margarine decades ago, and you've been using it ever since. This is one of the biggest medical mistakes of the 20th century, and the consequences are still affecting us today. Margarine is a manufactured product created by taking vegetable oils like soybean oil and subjecting them to a process called hydrogenation. This process adds hydrogen to the oils, making them solid at room temperature. But in doing so, it creates trans fats, and trans fats are unequivocally the worst thing you can put in your body for cardiovascular health. The evidence on trans fats is not debatable, it's not controversial.
It's devastatingly clear. A meta-analysis published in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition, reviewing numerous studies, concluded that for every 2% increase in calories from trans fats, there was a 23% increased risk of coronary heart disease. 23%. This is one of the strongest dietary risk factors ever identified. Even worse, trans fats didn't just increase heart disease risk. They also increased inflammation markers, impaired blood vessel function, increased triglycerides, decreased HDL cholesterol, and increased LDL cholesterol. It was like taking a chemical weapon to your cardiovascular system every time you ate it. Here's what kills me. People over 60 had margarine drummed into their heads for decades. They threw out their butter, thinking they were protecting their hearts, and they were actually destroying them. We now know that the saturated fat in butter is far less damaging than the trans fats in margarine. This was Eleanor's tragedy. Eleanor was 76 when she had her heart attack. She'd been a margarine user her entire adult life. She switched to margarine in her 30s because she wanted to protect her health. She never smoked, she exercised regularly, she maintained a healthy weight, but she had a massive heart attack at 76. After her heart attack, she came to see me, devastated. I reviewed her diet and discovered she was still using margarine, still using vegetable spreads, still eating processed foods with trans fats. I explained the research to her. Her eyes filled with tears. She realized she'd spent 50 years poisoning her own cardiovascular system, thinking she was protecting it. The safer alternative is simple: real butter, grass-fed butter specifically. This is not a compromise. This is the actual healthier choice. Butter from grass-fed cows contains conjugated linoleic acid, or CLA, which actually improves your lipid profile. It also contains butyric acid, which has anti-inflammatory properties. A study in Nutrients found that people who consumed butter from grass-fed cows had better cardiovascular risk profiles than those consuming margarine, including lower inflammation markers and better cholesterol ratios. Another study found that the saturated fat in grass-fed butter did not raise LDL cholesterol the way many people feared. When Eleanor switched from margarine back to butter and eliminated processed foods with trans fats, her cardiologist was astonished at her recovery. Her subsequent heart stress test showed improvement. She told me, "I wish I'd known this 50 years ago. I could have had so much healthier life." But we have one more oil to address, and it's the one people think is helping their blood pressure. Point number 5, sunflower oil mayonnaise and healthy dressings. Hidden seed oil overload. You buy it at the health food store. The label says, "Made with sunflower oil." They're heart symbols. It's marketed to people watching their cholesterol, and you assume that because it's at a health food store, it must be good for you. It's not. Most commercial salad dressings and mayonnaise products, even the ones sold at Whole Foods stores, are made with seed oils like sunflower oil, safflower oil, or soybean oil. And people over 60 are eating these products multiple times per week, sometimes multiple times per day. Here's the problem. The oils themselves are dangerous, but when you add the fact that many of these products also contain sugar, high fructose corn syrup, and various emulsifiers and preservatives, you've created a cardiovascular nightmare. A study in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition found that consuming just 1 or 2 servings of seed oil-based salad dressing daily increased inflammation markers by an average of 48% within 4 weeks. 48%. And inflammation is the root cause of arterial disease. But there's something even more concerning. These dressings often contain emulsifiers like polysorbate 80 or soy lecithin. Research published in Nature has shown that emulsifiers damage the intestinal barrier and increase systemic inflammation. When your gut barrier is compromised, bacterial lipopolysaccharides leak into your bloodstream, triggering a powerful inflammatory response throughout your body, including in your arteries. This was Henry's mistake. Henry is 73 and was using bottled salad dressing every single day. He thought he was being healthy. He was eating salads. But the salad dressing was literally creating inflammation faster than the salad could prevent it. Henry's cardiologist discovered he had early-stage atherosclerosis at 73. His inflammation markers were elevated. His doctor recommended a statin medication, but Henry wanted to try dietary changes first. We eliminated all bottled dressings and all products made with seed oils. I taught him how to make simple salad dressing at home. Extra virgin olive oil, balsamic vinegar, a little mustard, garlic, that's it. 5 ingredients he could actually pronounce and recognize as food. Within 6 weeks, his inflammation markers dropped by 56%. His cardiologist rechecked his coronary arteries and found that his atherosclerosis had not progressed. It was stable, and the inflammation driving the disease seemed to have stopped. When Henry switched to homemade dressing, his wife noticed he seemed to have more energy. His brain fog improved. His blood pressure came down. His doctor was impressed enough that he recommended Henry share his dietary changes with other patients. The amazing thing about fixing your oils is that the benefits go way beyond just your cardiovascular system. People report more energy, better mental clarity, improved digestion, and even weight loss. When you stop feeding inflammation and start supporting your body, everything improves.
Let's recap the exact roadmap to saving your arteries. We are removing the processed trap of canola oil and the ubiquitous filler that is soybean oil. We are eliminating those deceptive seed oils, sunflower, safflower, and grapeseed that act like liquid rust in your veins. We are tossing out the margarine and its deadly trans fats. And finally, we are done with those inflammatory bottled dressings. And here is how we are rebuilding your health. We are replacing those industrial fluids with extra virgin olive oil for your salads and daily nourishment. We're using avocado oil, our high-heat hero for searing and roasting, and we are returning to the ancestral wisdom of grass-fed butter, ghee, and tallow for distinct flavor and cellular fuel. The pattern here is simple but profound. The food industry spent decades convincing us that natural fats are dangerous and that industrial seed oils are healthy. The evidence shows the exact opposite. Oxidized oils and trans fats are destroying your endothelium. Real fats, olive oil, avocado oil, and butter are protecting it. This isn't complicated. It's not expensive, and it is certainly not a sacrifice. Extra virgin olive oil tastes richer than sunflower oil. Avocado oil performs better under heat than soybean oil. Grass-fed butter is infinitely more satisfying than margarine. You aren't making a compromise, you're making an upgrade. Your challenge starting today is this. Go to your kitchen cabinets right now. Find every bottle of canola, soybean, or vegetable oil. Find that tub of margarine. Find those heart-healthy bottled dressings. Take them out. Don't finish them. Your arteries aren't a trash can. Replace them immediately with the oils we discussed today. The single change could add years to your life. It could be the difference between stiff, inflamed arteries and a healthy cardiovascular system. It could give you back your energy and mental clarity. I'm not exaggerating. It is that important. Commit to this for just 30 days, 1 month. See how you feel. Pay attention to your energy levels. Notice your digestion. If you can, have your inflammation markers and triglycerides checked now and again after 30 days. You will see a difference. And please share your story in the comments. Tell me which oils surprised you the most. Tell me what you're noticing as you make these swaps. Your story matters, and your journey could inspire someone else to save their own life. The heart disease epidemic doesn't have to be your story. You don't have to become another statistic. The research is clear. The power is in your hands. The choices you make in your kitchen today determine your health tomorrow. Thank you for taking this information seriously. Thank you for caring enough about your health to really listen. Your family needs you around. You deserve to live a long, vibrant life, and it starts with something as simple as the oil in your pan. I'm here to help you make these decisions. I'll see you in the next video where we're going to talk about the other foods that are silently affecting your health. Until then, check those labels. Make those swaps and take control of your cardiovascular future. Your heart is worth it.